Ow! Oh, he bit my arm fat.
Alright guys, in today's video it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about this fellow right here and the love of his life, Amberlyn Reed. I have a bone to pick with you, YoMama. I understand. I totally understand this whole thing that you got going on over there on your side of YouTube. Like I've said before, I said it in my last video. I think it's awesome. I think it's cool that you're calling out a bunch of different creators. I think that it's refreshing. I find your lives to be very entertaining. But speaking of hypocrisy, I I don't understand how Amberlyn Reed and Foodie Beauty can do no wrong in your eyes. Like, you say that you call them out. You say that you call them out when they do disgusting things, but you really don't. I mean, really. You get mad at people for not talking about Kaya, which, for the record, Kaya, completely disgusting piece of needs to be off of YouTube. Needs to be deplatformed. I don't care. I think that her whole situation she's got going on is absolutely gross and disgusting. But you're getting mad at creators for not pushing harder against her and saying more about her, I guess, when, first of all, a lot of these reaction channels, they react to Chantel. They don't really react to other reaction channels. Now, I know there's been a few of them who have called her out, which good, as they should, but their channel is about Chantel. That's just kind of what it is. Anyways, you get so mad about that, but you are literally defending a woman, Foodie Beauty, who has made up an alibi and lied for, and I'm saying alleged because I don't want to get in any kind of trouble, an alleged S offender, and continued to sleep with him. So, I don't understand the double standard. Is it because she's fat and bullied? I don't get it. I really don't get the double standard. And we're going to talk about the double standard today in this video as well with Amberlyn Reed and the whole Beck situation. Amberlyn Reed is such a victim in YoMama's eyes. But Beck is not a victim. It's been 3 years since this has happened to them, so they should keep their mouths shut about it. He also talked in this video about, someone had commented and said, you didn't do enough research. He goes, why should I have to do research? It was 3 years ago. Well, you don't seem to have any problem pulling up shit from 3, 4, 5 years ago for reaction channels to give receipts and proof. But oh, heaven forbid, if it's something to go against the love of your life, Amberlyn Reed, then that's a problem. Why should I have to? Why should I have to? That's a double standard, and that is hypocrisy right there. And I'm going to call it out because you have no problem calling it out for everyone else. I'm going to call it out for you too. Do your research and don't be so biased. I do not care. I do not care that they get dogpiled. I do not care that they have so many people, talking about the shit that they do, and which, yes, is sometimes, it's a little bit extreme. I mean, I know that people will call out things that it's just like, what are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense. That's such a, I get that. But, YoMama, come on. That's my little rant to start off the video, but let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Hi everybody, and welcome to part 2 of the audience's questions for Beck.
Now here's a coordinated attack right here. You see your good old snowflake and his Forever 21 sweater. And what is right next to him? Karina Kaboom's frog. Her merch. You see how this is a coordinated attack? All these reaction channels kissing each other's ass. That's what that is. That was good. That's what that is. And now Becky is adding on to it. Go ahead.
As they should add on to it. This person was horribly, emotionally abused by Amber Lynn Reid. And just because bigger channels are giving them a platform to talk about it, that's a coordinated attack? Okay.
She would sometimes cry and get upset about her weight. When I'd speak to her about it, what hurt her the most was always that she felt she would never be her goal weight and that she would never look the way she wanted to look. Weight loss is hard. I know it is. But it's been so many years since she started her channel that she could have reached that goal in a healthy way, including any slip-ups along the way by now, if she had really wanted to. I think what upset her most was not looking how she wanted to. Health was not the priority at all. Her career on YouTube was much more important than her health, and she said as much more.
Wait a minute. Her career on YouTube was more important than her health? Okay, but wasn't she paying you monthly from her YouTube? Ma'am, you was getting paid by Amber Lynn.
I wouldn't consider financial abuse getting paid.
Amber Lynn paying you a month? Every month from that YouTube check? Go ahead.
Multiple times.
And you know the fact that I hate that Becky wants to do all this talking about Amber Lynn's weight, but then she doesn't want to show herself? Kind of weird, ain't it? Go ahead.
If she were to lose weight or not be a train wreck, she wouldn't have as many viewers, and that was the most important thing to her. More than any concern for herself, those around her, or anything.
Yeah, Amber Lynn paid for everything. Why are you talking? What is the conversation here? What are we talking about here?
Just because somebody makes more money in a relationship and maybe pays for everything does not give them the right to abuse that person.
They go by Beck, not Becky. Okay, Beck. I don't know how to say her name. Beck.
Anything else. Nothing changed after her diagnosis.
Did you notice that Amber Lynn tends to chameleon herself to be just like the people around her, especially her partners, whether it being towards you or maybe when she was around Destiny/Dana, Jade, or her.
And all this name crap, I just want to say this off the rip. I mean, y'all, people call me Slow Mama, Mama Tama, Big Mama, Fat Mama, Up and Down Mama, Bama Mama. You know, everybody's going to get names mixed up, okay? Call him Snow Blake, Karina Dumbass, all this other stuff like that. If you say the Beck with the Y, so sometimes you're just going to get it mixed up because you just hear it so much, or you hear people say it. But if it's Beck, then it's Beck. I'll say Beck. All right, I'll keep it Beck. All right, Beck. It's kind of hard because I don't know nobody named Beck, but I'll just say Beck. All right. God.
Her mom. One of the most fascinating things about Amber is her recording herself.
Beck doesn't attack anyone though. That's crazy. Let me tell y'all something, because you know what? I'm gonna say something. I know for a fact that Amber Lynn's a good person.
Have you not watched her videos over the years? How do you know that she's a good person for a fact? Please do tell.
Amber Lynn's a better person than me. First and foremost, Amber Lynn apologized for being an asshole girlfriend when she didn't have to, but she did. And she took most of the blame on herself for her relationship. She said some of it was on her, but most of it was me. I give props to that. Me, when I run into my exes, you know, somewhere out, yeah, they go, you was an asshole, you was a badass, blah, blah, blah. But they move on. And I let them have that. I was like, yeah, I was a dick. I admittedly was a dick. Okay, cool. But let me tell y'all something. If my exes ever came online and made 7 fucking videos, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 videos about the same bullshit and how bad I was in a relationship, let me tell you something. The old me gonna come out. The old dick is gonna come out. I'm surprised Amber Lynn haven't exploded on this person, because I would explode it.
Sir, being a dick is very different than being mentally and emotionally abusive. Let's not even compare the two, okay? Of, you know, times when we're younger and maybe in a relationship, you know, we were a dick, or we did wrong, or we just didn't handle the situation well. We were very immature, whatever. Anybody could say that, right? That's to even compare the two.
I'll let you get one off. I'll let you get 2 or 3 questions off. But now you're going too fucking far. When is enough enough? When you gonna move on? Because all these clowns is up here talking about, you know, oh, she's a good person. Beck is this, Beck is that. This is a lot of jealousy going on here. Okay? Because once Amberlynn got a new girlfriend, got all this going on, Beck just can't stop talking.
Ew. First of all, I hate the whole, you're just jealous. Foodie Beauty says that all the time. You're just jealous. It's so annoying. Nobody is jealous of you. Nobody is jealous of Amberlynn Reid. And mind you, when Beck and Amber broke up, Amber immediately jumped into the next relationship. And Beck kept their mouth shut. They didn't say anything for 3 years. They kept it quiet. Amberlynn made a deal with them. Hey, if I don't talk about you, you don't talk about me. And what did Amberlynn continue to do? Talk about Beck. Talk about Beck. Bring up a snide remark here. Bring up a snide remark there. And you know what Beck did? They were like, okay, you want to keep bringing me up? Deal's off. I'm coming out. And I also think that it did take some healing. Sometimes it takes years for people to be able to come out and talk about their story, what they've been through. So I don't understand the whole, it's been 3 years, so don't talk about it. That's bullshit. And Beck had no problem with Amberlynn being in, Beck broke up with Amberlynn. Beck wanted out of that relationship with Amberlynn because of the hell that they went through. So, and how long was Amberlynn with Wifey? How long was it? A full year? Maybe a year and a half? I don't know. I would have to do my research on that. But Beck didn't say anything. They didn't care. So why now all of a sudden Amberlynn's in a new relationship or was in a new relationship and suddenly Beck would care? Why?
If you don't care about the woman no more, you moved on. Move the fuck on. The way Amberlynn is handling it is way better than me. Because I drag my ex to the hair, to the moon, to the fucking cows come home. 12 videos? I let you get one. I say, okay, I come on here. She was right. I was a dickhead. You got that, boo.
Streamlabs.
But 12?
Streamlabs.
Don P. donated $5 through Super Chat. Let Beck get paid after everything. ALR admitted to abusing them. And happy B-Day lol.
Thank you very much. Facts. Bad girlfriend, caretaker. Again, like I said, what I'm hearing, these are grown-ass adults. Amberlynn's not forcing any adult to, if you want to leave, leave.
And there it is, folks, the victim blaming. If you want to leave, leave. You should have just left. Do you know how disgusting you sound right now, YoMama? This isn't even funny. This isn't even him playing devil's advocate, kind of seeing the other side of things. This is just full-on victim blaming. That is disgusting. I thought you were against that. But, if Amber or Foodie Beauty are being abused in any way, poor babies, right? Nobody should be abused. Nobody should go through abuse, right? Chantel made a mockery of abuse for 2 years straight when it came to the crackhead, okay? 2 years straight. You want to sit over there telling everybody that they're victim blaming Chantel and that what she went through was legit and real. Oh, but heaven forbid, because it's against your voluptuous queen.
If she want to get bread, that's cool. Get bread. But I'm saying the way she's going about it, the way she's going about her bread, there's not enough money in just dragging Amberlynn all the time, because all these people are going to want is Amberlynn tea. You ain't got enough Amberlynn tea to hold you over for the next year. This shit is drying up fast. You better skip to some new content.
Streamlabs.
You know what I'm saying?
It's me, Suki T. donated $2 through Super Chat. Let Girl World Eeyore get her bag.
Yeah.
Happy B-Day, Green Heart.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, let her get her bread. Or she goes, or she don't go by she goes they. The pronouns, Beck's pronouns is they. But let Beck get her back. Let Beck get her bag. But what I'm saying is, this ain't the way to go about it though. If you want to spill some tea on Amber, cool. But drip a little tea here, and then have some subjects about something different.
What? You just sound stupid now. Who are you to tell Beck how to tell their story? Why is that your place to tell them how to come out with that? How to tell their story? What? It just feels like any pathetic attempt to defend Amberlynn, right? Am I crazy?
Do better than her. You know what I mean? Go outside. Do a vlog. Do a vlog of what you're doing now and how you bettering yourself and how you've gotten past the whole Amberlynn debacle and how you're a better person and you're in a better relationship. Show us that. Don't give me old Amberlynn tea. People change.
Again, with it's been over 3 years. Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Also, they did do that. Beck did. When the breakup happened and they left, Beck did try to make videos about other things and talking about other things and talking about their life and the place that they were in at that point. And without bringing up Amberlynn Reed, they did do that.
People around.
And I just don't understand to team up with people like YoFlake or Snowflake. You see how obsessed this man is with Amberlynn, and this is the guy you want to tag up and team up with? If you want to say what you want to say about Amberlynn, stop saying it through disgusting ass reaction channels like Snowflake. Snowflake is a piece of shit, utter disgusting human being. The same thing that I catch from everybody outside talking about all you do is talk about women, overweight women. That's what he does. He talks about one overweight woman on the internet and obsesses over her. But he's a real man. I spread my content around. I go after men, I go after women, I go after aliens.
And that's what I like about your channel, YoMama. I do feel like you call out all kinds of different people. You don't just focus on one person. Like I said in the beginning, I found that refreshing, but this is not it. This is not it. You don't have to defend Amberlynn over every little thing. And who are you to tell Beck where they should and shouldn't tell their story? I mean, if Beck were to have done this on their own, right? They just made a video, put it out, they would get views. They would get hella views. There's no denying that. But I think this was kind of a smart way to do it because they got to answer questions that the audience has, that other people have wondered about. And they were able to answer questions, and it probably helped them too, because sometimes just getting on and telling your story of what you went through, something horrible you went through, that can be really difficult. Finding the words, trying to put it all together, making it make sense. And it's just, sometimes it can be really emotionally hard and exhausting. So I think them being able to do it in little bite-sized pieces, answering questions, I think that was helpful for them. I don't understand where you come off, telling anybody where they should and should not tell their abuse story.
Said that Amber used to be so mean to her mom, that she would make her cry. Did Amber ever make you cry in front of her? And what was Amber's response to seeing you or her mother crying?
Amber made me cry many, many times in front of her. For someone who claims to be an empath, she really seemed to enjoy making people angry or pushing someone to their emotional limit based on how often she would do that to me. And
you know what? I just don't understand. Like, if you get with somebody like this, like Amberlynn was, and you came out of it, she emotionally abused you, bro. Talk about it, but don't talk about it through people that also emotionally abusing Amberlynn. The stuff that Snowflake is doing to Amberlynn is an emotional abuse. So what you're speaking against is something that a person that you are speaking through is doing to Amberlynn. That makes no sense.
Here he is trying to make it about Amberlynn being the victim. She's being mentally and emotionally abused by these people. She's the victim. You're no better because you're going through this person. First of all, nobody's emotionally abusing Amberlynn Reed. Okay? She put her life on the internet. She can suck it up if people have shit to say. She's gonna be okay. All right? Having people talk about you online when you put your life on the internet is very, very different than being in a relationship with somebody that you are supposed to be able to trust. Having them mentally and emotionally abuse you to the point that you just break inside, that is so very different than putting your life online for people to see and people responding to it, talking about it. Now, yes, there are people that go to the extreme. There are people that go in real life, and I think that that's extreme. They shouldn't. I don't agree with that. But let's not compare, okay? Let's not compare. Where Amber Lynn, she can take a mental health break. She can take a break from the internet. She can block reaction channels. She can turn off comments. She can do the things that she needs to do to kind of shut that noise out if it's really affecting her mental health so badly. Being stuck in a mentally and emotionally abusive relationship isn't quite that easy. You can't just turn it off. Okay, and sometimes you can't just leave. There is so much that goes into it that it is so hard for people to leave. And you can't sit there and say, well, then just leave. Then just leave. Do you know how extremely difficult it would be to leave somebody, first of all, who's mentally and emotionally abusing you, right? And putting you down, you just feel broken, you're like, okay, I'm ready to leave. I've got to get out of here. But then they turn around, what would I do without you? I need you. I need you. I wouldn't be able to do this, or this without you. I would be alone. You're leaving me alone. Do you know the guilt? Do you know the guilt that somebody would feel hearing that? Somebody that they probably loved so very much at one point, that they were supposed to be able to trust. That person has broken you down. You probably feel angry at them. Maybe you feel some hate towards them. But then, that same person who broke you down so badly is pulling at your heartstrings, guilt-tripping you, making you feel so bad. You think to yourself, well, this is somebody that I did love so much. And, maybe they really will change this time. And I don't want to leave this person alone and to have to do this by themselves and have to go through this by themselves. And no, there's so much that goes into it. So much that goes into it you can't even comprehend. So, this is stupid. This whole comparison is stupid. Amber Lynn is not the victim here.
Person that you are speaking through is doing to Amber Lynn. That makes no sense. If you wanted to tell a story about coming out of an emotional abuse relationship, talk about that. But don't talk about it through somebody that's emotionally abusing a creator on the internet. That's the part I don't understand about this. I mean, you don't see the emotional abuse that snowflake Jordy is causing towards Amber Lynn? I mean, Jordy's out here reading off Amber Lynn's mother's police report from 1970 all the way up to 2010. Right? And Snowflake supporting that shit. These are men going after a woman. Her booty was being filmed, and these guys thought that shit was funny out in the wild. That's what I don't. You're speaking through people that are doing the same thing that was done to you.
See, and I don't agree with that. I don't think people should be going around filming Amber Lynn Reid's ass. I think that's just weird and that makes you look like a freak. So, yeah, and that is violating. That should not be happening. Absolutely not.
Sure, when Amber Lynn turns her camera off or watch some of the things that Snowflake says about her, she cries. She gets emotional because it's a lot. And it's all these people piling on one woman. And you don't got her back on none of that. Because what you should be doing is saying, she emotionally abused me. But what you guys doing, she don't deserve that, though. People can change.
Excusez-moi? She should be saying that? She should be telling them that? First of all, if we're going by your logic, okay, you should have just left. Why aren't you telling Amber Lynn Reid, just don't watch it. Just get offline. Just get off of the internet. So if we're going by that logic, Amberlynn Reed, just stop watching. Number 2, how dare you tell a victim that they should be defending their abuser? I mean, I know there's people out there who take the high road and they're the bigger person and they're like, hey, you did this to me, this, and this. You really hurt me, but I don't want bad for you. I don't want bad things for you. I don't want this for you. You don't deserve it. And that's okay. Fine if they take that high road. Me, on the other hand, I'm not quite that big of a person. No pun intended. I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to do that. Someone who's hurt me and abused me, I would, leave you to the wolves. You figure it out on your own. I wish the worst for you. That's how I see it. And even just watching Beck's video, I don't even think that's how they see it. I think that they are still very compassionate person, and they even did say later on, someone asked, what would it take for Amberlynn Reed to change? And they said, I think that Amberlynn losing her platform, I think her losing her platform would force her to change. But I don't want that for her. I don't want that for her. So even Beck still doesn't wish the worst on Amberlynn Reed. And I'm sorry, I don't have much sympathy for abusers. This isn't just a bad girlfriend situation. This was an abusive situation.
You guys are doing the exact thing that she did to me. You're doing it to her right now. I'm not speaking through you clowns.
But it isn't the exact same thing. Not even close.
You guys are disgusting.
And anyone else around her. Amber's reaction was always to not acknowledge that the emotional response was due to her actions, to take care of something for her.
The initial days post-breakup, did Amber try and make you get back together? Didn't think about that one. Or did she ever manipulate you to try and make you feel like you should get back together? Also, when you announced the breakup on stream...
I mean, imagine asking this many questions to one person about a relationship somebody was in over 3 years ago. Like, bruh. And I can't do this. I really can't do this. Amberlynn was paying you. She was paying you.
She was financially abusing them. Can you not see that? Is that not clicking for you? No amount of money in the world could convince me to willingly go through something like that. Beck wasn't being paid and just sitting pretty. They were doing everything. They were wiping Amberlynn's ass. They were brushing her matted hair. They were taking care of the pets. They were cleaning up after Amberlynn. They drove her anywhere she needed to go at any time. At the drop of the hat, they had to stop what they were doing to take care of Amberlynn Reed's responsibilities. They were responsible for everything. So yeah, damn right they should have been paid. Damn right. But they weren't. It was financial abuse, and they suffered.
Amber can choose not to watch the people badmouthing her. In a relationship, it isn't easy, especially when you're financially dependent on the abuser.
Exactly.
Then you gotta get unfinancially responsible. If I'm putting a roof over your head and paying your bills, you gotta be like, you know what? Ain't you emotionally too much for me? I got to go. I'm living in a fucking tent over being with you. At a point, you gotta be a grown up. We're adults here. You gotta be like, listen, I gotta get out of this. You're not gonna financially hold me down, because there are people like that. There are men that do this to women.
Gross. So gross. Did you know that is one of the number one reasons why women have such a hard time leaving abusive relationships? Women or men, I mean anybody, is financial reasons. They have nowhere to go. They are so dependent on that person, and that person doesn't want them getting a job. I'll just take care of you. I'll just take care of everything. No. Don't get a job. 9 times out of the 10, they don't let them go. They don't let them go get a job. they don't want them to be financially independent. I don't know if he skipped over it, but there is a part where Beck talks about Amber would panic anytime Beck would be like collecting change around the house. You know, you leave some quarters here and there and you're collecting change. Oh, maybe I can make $1 out of this and I can go get me something at the donut shop or whatever. Amber Lynn would panic. Are you saving up to leave me? Are you planning to leave me? She did not want Beck to be financially independent. And whenever Amber Lynn would say, you know, I feel like I'm taking care of all the bills, I feel like I'm doing this, this, and this on my own, Beck would say, okay, if you feel that way, I will go get a job. Amber Lynn immediately, no, don't get a job. You don't understand the mind twist that this is. You can't, and I love how he completely skips over the part where that person mentions, hey, if Amber Lynn, if it's affecting her so much, she doesn't have to watch these reaction channels. He skips over that and, well, Beck needs to become unfinancially independent from Amber Lynn Reed. I almost said Foodie Beauty. Amber Lynn Reed and Foodie Beauty both use finances and money to control people, to keep people in relationships. It's gross and it's disgusting, and financial abuse is a real thing.
Versa. Women do it to men. Well, it's not that often, but it happens, right? You got to find a way out of that. And when you do get out, get the fuck out. You live those experiences that you went through, use those things to be a better person, to get out and be a better person. See what they did wrong and go, you know what? I was fucked up then. I messed up. I made mistakes. I'm going to do better. But we can't keep harping on it. You know what I mean? We can't harp on this for over 3 years. How long, how much somebody got to suffer for being an asshole in a relationship?
They haven't been harping on it for over 3 years. They haven't even talked about it until now. Like, really sat down and talked about it? No. Amber Lynn was the one who kept bringing them up. So let's make that very clear. Number 2, Beck should be able to harp on it as much as they damn well want to. All right.
Amber Lynn was watching TV with somebody and grabbed the remote and started watching and changed the fucking channel. And Beck got so fucking mad, she left the house and went to her mama's crib, her sister's crib. Started crying.
He corrects himself that it wasn't the mom's house, but the sister's house. But he didn't even tell the story right. Like, he didn't even get the story. Beck didn't get mad that Amber Lynn changed the channel. They were all watching Adventure Time. Keep in mind, Amber Lynn Reed, she doesn't even like Adventure Time. Beck has made that clear. And I guess Eric or Ricky, one of the two, changed the channel, and Amber Lynn Reed got so mad. And Beck was so confused because Amber Lynn doesn't even like Adventure Time, and they were kind of like, what? And I guess it was bad enough that Beck took off, no shoes, no bra, no purse, and went to their sister's house. So it was Amber Lynn who had a meltdown over the TV. So let's not paint the picture differently here. If you're going to tell the story, tell it right.
And stayed with her sister. That's what you're supposed to do. Get the fuck out of there. But harping on this for over 3 years, it's a lot.
Oh my heavens above. That is about all that I can take. You know, he also did mention in here Beck complaining that they didn't want to be in videos. So then why were you with a vlogger? Why would you? I mean, just because you're dating somebody who likes to vlog doesn't mean that you want to be on camera all the time or ever. So I don't know what his point is there. Anyways, I just had to jump on and talk a little bit about this because I watched it last night. It was driving me nuts. I'm like, dude, get the story right. Let's also not forget to mention that Amber Lynn Reed took Beck's inheritance money that they got from their mother before she passed away. $5,000. But he fails to mention that part. So, Yo Mama, if you want to keep defending your foodbalicious queen, be my guest.